Yes, hi, it's David Turnbull, Bespoke Estate Agent covering Tavistock and West Devon. I wanted to speak to you regards to price reductions. A price reduction came to the market this morning where it was reduced by £1, which made me sort of think about doing a video on tips to process for doing a price reduction if you're on the market. If it's something you're thinking of doing, first things first is to make sure that everything has been done prior to looking at reducing the price. What I will always do with a property, if it's not having a great deal of interest, is that I will examine the marketing to make sure that all of the photographs are absolutely at their best, and also to make sure that the write-ups of the property are as succinct as possible at the property. Also video as well, so I'll always make sure that there is a video on there that will be able to show the property in a really good light, but also give any potential buyers a real good idea of the property. But also it can be done and professionally edited in such a way to make the property stand out. Also types of marketing as well, so you have things like premium listings that you can do on the property portals to also do extra mail out, speak to obviously more of the buyers. But if you have done everything, and I would say that at the moment, the market changes very, very quickly. So if you're on the market, I would say after 4 weeks, if you haven't sold, if a property is not selling, it will generally be down to the price if it's being properly marketed. First things first is that the property portals will not recognise and relaunch and relist a property unless it's reduced by 2% or more. So if you're on the market, say for example, 200,000, you have to reduce that property by a minimum of £4,000. Say, for example, you're on at 200,000, you're reduced to 197,500. That won't have any difference in terms of it relaunching in the portals. So the price will change, that will be it. When it gets changed by 2% or more, it will relist and it'll come up with reduced on, but also it'll send an alert to everybody that's registered with those portals. But it won't show the original price the property is on the market for. It'll just show that it's reduced on such and such a date. That also then removes when the property was first marketed. So if a property's been on the market for too long, say 3 months or 4 months, and then the price reduction comes along, generally it'll only show the price reduction, it won't show when it was first listed. The next thing to think about is price points on the property portals. If you reduce to a point that isn't on a price point, for example, and they tend to be in round numbers, if you're going to reduce, it has to be a meaningful price reduction. When I say meaningful, it's got to excite buyers out there. And think of yourself as a buyer. It needs to obviously get people to pick the phones up. Or I speak to my mailing list, I will obviously explain that the property's been reduced by an exciting amount to get them to go, oh yeah, David, we'll definitely go and see that. Generally what you can do is you can do a decent price reduction that is going to get the phones ringing, is going to get buyers inquiring, and is going to get buyers responding to your contact to then go and view the property. You can do that in 2 ways. You can reduce the guide price or the asking price. So for example, if you're on for 200, you could bring it down to 190. That, in my opinion, would be the minimum price change to make something happen, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to advise a price reduction and for it to make no difference to the marketing. That can be really disappointing and frustrating as well, because you've obviously followed the estate agency advice and haven't seen a difference. As far as you're concerned, worse off, or it feels like you're worse off. The other option you can do is to bring it further down. So for example, if you're on for 200,000 and you really want to get something happening, you can bring it down to an offers in excess of price. A really meaningful price reduction would be offers in excess of, say, 180. That really would get the phones ringing. That would really get buyers responding to contact from your estate agent. That doesn't mean you have to accept the first offer that comes along, but really it is a case of getting the right amount of buyers through the door. When it comes to a price reduction as well, it down to the amount of viewings you're having. If you're having quite a few viewings, but aren't getting any offers, that might indicate that you don't need to reduce the price, because if buyers are finding it attractive and they're coming to view the property, it might be just a matter of time. I would always think that if I'm having quite a few viewings on a property and I'm not getting any offers over say a 4-week period, I would be then questioning, is the marketing correct? Are we attracting the right buyers to the property? Are we attracting buyers that expect it to be better than it actually is. And that's why they're not offering. Obviously, you get feedback from viewings, so people are not offering. You need to find out why that is. It probably isn't the price. Price reductions are suitable for properties that are having hardly any interest. So if there aren't many viewings happening and it doesn't seem to be many inquiries, then that would indicate either the marketing is wrong and not good and not attracting buyers, or it's the price. I only ever want to reduce the price once if it hasn't managed to sell. You don't want to keep chipping away at the price, because that will cost you money in the long run. So the longer a property is on the market for, the staler it's going to go. My rule of thumb is 3 months. A property, if it's on the market for 3 months or more, that would have gone stale. And unless it's a very unique property which is only going to attract a certain type of buyer, that is the idea on price reductions. You should only need to do it once. If you've done it once and you haven't managed to sell, then there is a point of considering changing estate agents. And that is a video I'm going to move on to: when, how, and why to change estate agents. But thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.